You can sense something is off, but you don't know exactly what's going on with your child. He comes home a little bit more quieter, he doesn't talk as much, and he starts getting more and more into his games. And you don't know what's happening between his friends and what's happening online and what is actually going on at school. And it continues to get worse and worse and worse. So firstly, this is not your fault, and it's not your child's fault either. It's simply a knowledge gap. You don't know what to look for, and he doesn't know what to look for either. In this video, I'm going to tell you what you can look for, how to know if your child is struggling socially or not, and what to do to specifically fix it. I know this because I was that same kid who got picked on, bullied, and had friends that I thought were my friends, but they never were. So the real problem comes down to your child probably not knowing what true friendship looks like. We know that friendship is someone we hang out with, but we don't know how our friends should actually treat us. And a lot of times when a child doesn't know what true respect looks like, he'll always be disrespected or stay in a situation where he's getting disrespected on the daily. And he doesn't know the difference. That's why it's so important to sit down with them, tell them what they should expect from their friends, how they should treat them. Are they saying things that are rude to them? Do they ever say things that make them feel bad about themselves? And let them know that that's not okay. Because if you've never sat down and actually had a talk with them about that, he's never going to know what he's missing, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse with his friend group. So a few questions that actually help you understand what's going on is ask him things like this. When you hang out with your friend group, do they ever make you feel bad about yourself? Do they ever tease you about something? And really listen deeply to hear their answer, how their body language is. Another big one is just looking at their body language when they come back home. Do they look a little bit more down than usual? Do they seem a bit different after hanging out with their friends? A question you can ask is, do you ever feel like they're laughing with you or laughing at you? And that distinction is really important, because once you teach him what is acceptable and what isn't, he knows what to expect. And when someone says something that's disrespectful to him, he can shut it down in the moment and have boundaries to say, I will not be treated that way in that moment. That shuts down these kids that just want to tear down your child and make themselves feel better. But if your child has a toolkit to know what to say when someone says something disrespectful and to make boundaries for themselves, they can grow confidence. So firstly, once you teach them what's acceptable, you ask the questions that are most important to know what's going on, and you're reading his body language. Now comes to role play. You want to role play your child being able to make boundaries for themselves. Just you and your child talking back and forth. For example, if their friend said that they're bad at something, your child will be themselves and you can be the friend and say, hey, I don't respect it that you say that about me. I don't want you to say that about me anymore. And shut it down in that moment. And if your child has practiced that scenario over and over again with you, when he gets into a scenario where they say something rude about him, he will shut it down in the moment, and a lot of times that will stop a kid from saying it because there was consequences for the thing that he said. And your child is clearly communicating that that's not okay. This creates confidence for him. It makes him realize that he can handle the situation, and it pushes him to speak out for himself instead of staying quiet and it continuing to get worse and worse over time. Because the deeper truth is, a lot of times these children, they stay in these friendships for a long time without making any change because it's the only thing that they know. They stay in there because they think it's the only thing they deserve. So over time, they stay in a situation where their confidence is just completely deflated because the people that were supposed to be their friends treated them horribly their whole childhood. And that was me. And all I needed at that time was to be able to set boundaries for myself and to tell them that that's not acceptable and you're not going to treat me that way. That would have made the biggest difference for me in school. And that's why I want to give you, the parent, tools that I didn't have at that moment. Because when he learns to set a boundary and hold it and that it has merit, those children learn that there's consequences for their actions and he's not going to just stand around and be mistreated by them. And in the end, that's what's going to build his confidence the most over time, the boundaries that he has for himself. And if you're interested, I have a guide down below that helps you understand what's going on and how to start building his social skills. It's down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.